I am a man. Nothing human is alien to me. Terence. Prologue. Confession. Have you committed a sin? Then enter the church and repent your sin. For here is the physician, not the judge. Here one is not investigated, but receives remission of sins. St. John Chrysostom. 1. The Summons. Wallachia, March 1481. All was still in the forest. The last snowflakes of the sudden storm had just fallen. Everything paused. In the crook of a copper beech sat a man. His arms were crossed, gloved hands folded into his lap, the right beneath to support the weight of the goshawk on his left. They had been there for a long time, as long as the blizzard lasted, man and bird, part of the stillness, part of the silence. Both had their eyes closed. Neither were asleep. They were waiting for the first sound, something else to recognize that the storm had passed, be the first to stir before the next one arrived. There, a twitch of nostrils, their pinkness the only color in a white world. A sniff, the first sound, followed by the faintest of breezes coming up the valley. The hare could not scent those behind her. It was hardly a sound, but the man and the hawk both opened their eyes. The birds were red, fire red, hell red. Because she was old, 9 years old, 5 past her prime when she could take 10 hares, a half-dozen squirrels, a brace of stoats, all in a day. Not for their flesh, she didn't need so much, not for the skins that clothed the man on whose fist she sat, for the pure pleasure of the kill. 4 eyes stared at the snowpack in the glade, seeking the source of the sound they couldn't have heard. The hare pushed her whole head above the snow crust. When the blizzard came, she had been caught between stands of beech and aspen, digging for a root. Surprised by the sudden white ferocity, she had frozen. The new snow was as deep as her body, but her rear legs rested on the hard pack beneath. Shelter was just 20 leaps away. There, among the deadfalls, she would be safe. In the tree, the man raised his fist. A wall of soft snow tumbling from his arm, thunder in the silence. The hare leapt. Young, fast, she was halfway to safety when the man flung out his arm and the bird fell from the tree. 5 beats and into its glide. The hare wove, so winter-lean that in the shallower snow near the tree line she skimmed the soft surface. Before it, a fallen branch made an arch, like a cathedral's porch. The hawk struck, talons thrusting through fur into flesh. The hare twisted, ripping one triumvirate of claws free, a spray of blood following, a red arrowhead pointing towards darkness and the sanctuary of wood. Then the jerking stopped, and all was still in the forest again. The man dropped carefully from the tree, groaned, despite the softness he fell into. Snow tumbled from his coat, from its alternating stripes of hare, squirrel, and weasel, from the pyramid of wolfskin on his head. He moved slowly forward, brushing the dirty white beard that curled thickly up to his cheekbones clear of ice. Stooping, he wrapped his fingers around the bird's back, pulled gently. Hawk and hare slid from the drift. The bird released instantly, her eyes fixed on the leather pouch at the man's waist. With his free hand he reached in and pulled out a piece of fresh flesh. She took it, making a small noise in her throat. The hare stared up, unblinking in terror. For a moment the man stared back. Then he moved his thumb slightly, pushed down, and snapped the neck. It made such a little sound, too little for the snap that came a moment after to be an echo. He listened, and soon heard men trying not to be heard.